Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Yasmin, and in this video, I'm going to talk about Nike Backgrounds Company. So Nike, as everyone knows, is one of the biggest and most well-known sports and athletic wear in the world. So Nike Inc. is an American multinational association that is involved in the design, development, manufacturing, and also worldwide marketing and sales of apparel, footwear, accessories, equipment, and also services. So it all started in 1962 when a former Oregon track and field star, Phil Knight, visited the Onitsuka factory in Japan and was pleased with the company's high standards and quick turnaround times. So in January 25, 1964, Knight and his former coach at the University of Oregon has founded a Blue Ribbon Sports. And following their separation in 1971, Onitsuka and Blue Ribbon renamed the company as Nike in honor of the Greek goddess of victory. Furthermore, that year also marked the introduction of the swoosh logo that designed by graphic students Caroline Davidson, which has since grown to be one of the most identifiable business logos worldwide. And in 1988, Nike has launched the famous Just Do It advertising campaign, which becomes central to its brand identity. And during 1990, Nike has opened its first Nike Town retail store in Portland, Oregon. And just recently, in 2022, Nike has opened its first Nike style concept store in South Korea that blending physical and digital experiences. Nike style concept store is integrated with technology that customers can access augmented reality experiences related to art exhibitions and product innovations by scanning QR codes placed throughout the store. This feature was also recently showcased in the Nike Live store in Los Angeles. Nike's new model has an even more distinctive feature, a content studio with customizable backdrops where anyone can create content for social media platforms, be it local creatives or buyers. As for Nike's mission and vision, Nike's mission is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. This mission considers the psychological and utilitarian aspects of how the sportswear company satisfies its customers. The company states that everybody is an athlete based on Nike founder Bill Bowerman's statement, "If you have a body, you are an athlete." In this context, the mission statement represents the company's strategic goal of reaching every person in the world because everybody is considered an athlete and thus a customer. Next, for Nike's vision is to remain the most authentic, connected, and distinctive brand. The business continues to apply this vision statement for its long-term strategic goal of keeping its market dominance and business growth. The sportswear company also focuses on developing its brand. Next, we're moving on to product range. Nike producing and selling athletic and sports product catering to athlete, fitness enthusiasts, and also lifestyle consumers. Nike offers the following products among its products and services. The first one is footwear, including shoes such as the popular lines, such as the Nike Air Zoom that assign for different types of runners and running condition. They also have sandals and slippers for a lifestyle consumers that want a casual styles. And the second one is clothing. This includes sports apparel with a variety of sport specific clothing such as running tops, basketball jerseys, soccer kits, and golf attire, and also workout gear and many more. Next, Nike also have accessories such as bags and backpack, headwear, socks, and also gloves. And last but not least is sports equipment such as balls, fitness equipment like yoga mats, and also protective gear for athletic sports. Nike's world headquarters is located in Beaverton, Oregon, and it's set on 400 acres of lush Pacific Northwest landscape and a short drive from Portland. The world-class Beaverton campus is home to sports research labs, design studios, product creation facilities, and the global organization to support all of Nike's pursuits. Nike's current CEO is John Donahoe since January 2020. The next one is Nike's business model. Nike's operates a direct-to-consumer (DTC) through the first one is Nike-owned retail stores such as flagship stores, Nike factory stores, and pop-up shops. Nike also partners with a network of authorized retailers and distributors in addition to operating its own stores and thereby expanding its reach. Nike also comes with customized interactions for customers, such as their digital platforms, Nike.com, SNKRS, and the Nike App Drive online sales. This control over branding and client experience is improved with this strategy. And Nike comes also with membership programs that is to encourage user loyalty by providing unique goods, early access, and also personalized offers. The second business model is branding and marketing. The organization has continuously made investments in well-known endorsements, forming alliances with the largest figures in entertainment and sports. Nike has a lengthy history of partnerships with legendary sportsmen such as tennis player Serena Williams and basketball legends Michael Jordan, solidifying its reputation as an emblem of athletic greatness. Nike also promotes their ideas of tenacity, sportsmanship, and dedication with campaigns like Just Do It. The narrative techniques aims to touch athletes and consumers' hearts on an emotional level. The last business model is product innovation. The first one is R&D and design. Nike makes significant investments in R&D to produce innovative goods. Its innovation labs concentrate on developing cutting-edge materials, sustainable textiles, and footwear cushioning technologies, including Zoom and also MX. The second one is sustainability, which Nike's Move to Zero program uses renewable energy and recyclable materials to manufacture items, reducing the company's carbon impact. Last but not least, for company's background is sustainable initiatives. Nike's main program to attain zero waste and lower its carbon impact is called Move to Zero campaign. The objective is to shift owned or operated facilities to 100% renewable energy and using more sustainable materials while emphasizing a circular economy. The first initiative is called Materials with Less Impact, which is Nike's inventing in more efficient materials and reusing existing plastics, yarns, and textiles. They are making a great progress towards zero carbon and zero waste. The second initiative is called Circular Solution, which is recycling plus donation under a program called Nike Reuse a Shoe. Under these initiatives, Nike gathers used athletic shoes and recycles them into materials for new goods like Nike Green. Also, Nike Refurbish is a circular product project that encourages reuse and reduce waste by reselling sneakers that customers returns that are marginally faulty or have worn out. And the last one is React X. Because less energy is used during the production process, React X is designed to boost energy return by 13% while reducing carbon footprint in a pair of midsoles by at least 43%. Sports performance engineering has succeeded in creating React foam, which strikes a compromise between environmental effect and performance. In next year, Nike have targeted 0.5 million fewer tons of greenhouse gas emissions by using 50% more environmentally friendly materials, polyester, cotton, leather, and rubber in all essentials. And also 80% or more of the waste recycled back into Nike products and other items, with 100% of the garbage in their extended. And last but not least is 25% less freshwater use per kilogram for finishing and dyeing textiles.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Sadiq Jubair bin Jufrizal and I will continue the part for Nike conceptualization. How does Nike supply chain works? Nike has become a worldwide sportswear giant, resulting in a very strong supply chain that supports such extensive product lines and rapid growth. Its approach to supply chain management focuses on efficiency, responsiveness, and sustainability. This American multinational is doubtless the most important player in the contemporary textile business due to being one of the most well-known brands in the world. Thousands of millions of shoes and other products are sold annually by Nike. And there is a tremendously intricate supply chain lying behind these sales. The proactive approach to supply chain management has, for many, been one of the most essential ingredients in Nike's phenomenal success, even though there are obviously considerable problems involved in managing that complexity. Some of the key elements of Nike supply chain management are: Number 1. Lean manufacturing and just-in-time inventory. Nike has implemented a lean manufacturing strategy that focuses on the elimination of waste and the maximization of efficiency down the chains. Through the implementation of the just-in-time inventory practice, Nike ensures that both components and materials arrive at the manufacturing facilities just in time for production to reduce costs of storage and minimize risk of obsolescence. Number 2, agile supply chain. Nike achieved this through an agile supply chain that can respond quickly to the fast evolving demands and trends in the marketplace. This includes flexible production, distribution, and sourcing that respond quickly to changes in consumer preference and events that are not anticipated. The agile supply chain at Nike means the company comes up with a new product sooner and manage disruption with the right propositions. Nike is a game-changing the supply chain, making it easy for customers to keep, package, ship, and refurbish. The company teamed up with UPS to make returning Nike products purchased online from the company a bit easier on customers. Now, people can drop their Nike's product at UPS locations and have them shipped back to Nike for free. Nike is also working alongside Best Buy so that all Nike's product can easily be recycled by its customers. Customers will now be able to drop their old Nike products off at Best Buy locations and have them recycled for free. Number 3, global sourcing and strategic partnerships. Materials and components for Nike's products are manufactured and sourced from contract factories in countries around the world to access cost efficiency and ensure a ready supply. Close relationship with key suppliers enable Nike to sustain quality and timely shipments and drive innovation. Nike utilizes its global sourcing network to seek specialized capabilities and resource by region. Number 4, sustainable supply chain. Over the past several years, Nike has taken some big steps towards sustainability. It has implemented various policies aimed at reducing the company's environmental footprint, ensuring ethical labor practice and sourcing materials in a sustainable way with the focus on sustainability. Nike works to ensure a more resilient and socially responsible supply chain. Nike thinks differently when it comes to rethinking the way the world approaches supply chain. For years, Nike has been at the forefront for its industry with great sustainability and social responsibility. Taking that commitment to a whole new level is the initiative entitled Powering the People Who Power Nike. The initiative ensures that workers in Nike's supply chains get a livable wage with decent treatment. This initiative has seen Nike partner with its suppliers to implement a new business model that places workers at the center. The new model will require all its suppliers to provide a living wage to workers, health benefits, and access to education and training. Furthermore, Nike will ensure that suppliers provide workers with voices in the decision-making process, thereby commanding their rights. This is an important new development in the journey of Nike in bringing up a supply chain that is sustainable and responsible. It is also an indication of commitment by the company to the employees, as well as to the community in which it operates. Number 5. Technology and innovation. Nike utilized technologies that would help the brand to improve its overall efficiency and visibility into supply chains. Advanced analytics and data-driven decision-making are helpful to Nike in streamlining inventory levels, enhancing demand forecasting, and providing smoothing for the logistic operation. Besides that, Nike invests in innovative technologies intended to enhance product design, manufacturing processes, and customer experiences. In the past, Nike's supply chains was largely manual and heavily reliant on manpower. Nike's supply chain is now almost fully automated, allowing them to drastically cut costs and increase efficiency. Nike's journey to an automated supply chain began in the early 2000s when they began investing in new technologies. Lastly, number 6, risk management. Nike's supply chain necessarily revolves around managing risks. The company identifies potential risks that may come in the form of natural disaster, geopolitical instability, and supply line disruption, among others. A contingency plan will be made to reduce the effects of these risks. By doing so, Nike will guarantee the continuity of business and avoid disruptions of supply flows.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Dini Ikmal Khairuddin. So I would like to continue the last part, conceptualization, which is challenges to managing a global supply chain. Nike is an international company with a huge supply chain. Its production line suppliers are found across the globe. Managing the supply chain is highly irritating and cumbersome as well. There are several potential risks and challenges which Nike must be taking on board for maintaining smoothness in its supply chain. It also one of the biggest challenges. One must work out how to manage the relationship between the suppliers, since Nike manufacture its product from the production of thousands of suppliers, many of whom are in countries with different legal system and cultural way. Nike need to make sure that their supply adhere to their standard and treat the supplier quite fairly, which could be quite challenging in dealing with suppliers in countries with different legal system and cultural norm. Another challenge is the flow of merchandise across border. Products of Nike are sold in various markets around the world. This means that Nike must manage flow across many different borders, which can be a challenge due to different custom regulation and procedure in different countries. Nike's reputation was badly tarnished in 1990 when it was accused of using sweatshop to make its product. Most of Nike's value is derived from its brand, so the company has a strong incentive to ensure something like that doesn't happen again. Even though this contract manufacturer are Nike employees, Nike will be held responsible in the court of public opinion if something goes wrong. But these are the only challenge of running a global supply chain. Nike also has to worry about tariff and fluctuation in foreign currencies. In its most recent 10K, Nike said protectionist measures have result in increase in the cost of our product. More than 1/5 of China shoes are manufactured in China. So a US-China trade war is bad news for Nike purchasing division. And even without a trade war, there is always the chance that the dollar will strengthen or become weak relative to other currencies, causing Nike costs of fluctuated in turn. An additional challenge is that the primary raw material of Nike shoes, rubber, is primarily cultivated in South Asia. Raw material must then be transported to factories, with the resulting product being transported to port for shipping. This makes Nike highly dependent on South Asia for its product, and a major disruption, example a tsunami, could wreak havoc on Nike's supply chain. Given all this logistic challenge, it is impressive that Nike was able to generate 37 billion in sales and 2.5 billion profit during its most recent fiscal year. Both of these figures were lower than the year before due to COVID-19, but the company's performance was still dominant relative to many other firms. Nike boasts on ROE of 29.7% and ROE of 9.2%. This financial performance is impressive, particularly during a pandemic and a trade war, but the complex nature of Nike global supply chain makes it fragile, and company executives have to difficult task of coordinating a large number of moving parts to ensure that consumer can get a new pair of Air Jordans. So we will move to the next part, which is what makes Nike's supply chain unique and effective. The fundamental key driver of Nike's supply chain are outsourcing and diversification. Nike outsources 100% of its footwear and apparel production to independent contractors. It was one of the first multinationals to do so. Due to efficient management, Nike's supply chain team quickly learned to manage the added logistical complexity involved in this outsourcing, and has seen significant cost saving over the years as a result. Outsourcing is a risky process, but Nike offset this right from the beginning of its operation, with intensive diversification of its supplier base. The basic underlying driver behind Nike's supply chain are outsourcing and diversification. Due to good management, Nike's supply chain staff rapidly learned to handle the added logistical complexity this created in this outsourcing, and have gained colossal cost advantage from it over the years. Outsourcing is an inherently risk-filled strategy, but through intense diversity in its supply base, Nike was able to offset this right at the start. In 2019, Nike footwear components were supplied by 112 different factories in 12 countries, and no factory accounted for more than 9% of branded footwear. The fact that it's not overly dependent on any side means that Nike is less vulnerable to unpredictable accidents and extreme weather. However, there are several disadvantages of this dispersed approach. Sourcing components from the various number of facilities is real headache for quality control. To ensure that Nike high quality standards are met at every step of the production process, the company maintains continuous communication with its suppliers, supporting suppliers with tools and training to introduce suppliers to its lean management framework, and TQM approach. Opposition to this approach has also been received from outside of the supply chain itself. During the early days of its groundbreaking strategy of outsourcing manufacture, Nike decided not to centrally monitor the practice of suppliers. However, as growing consumer pressure and shift in to respond to market, Nike looked at its approach to sourcing and eventually adopted a new strategy. One of the key factors contributing to Nike's supply chain success is its ability to adapt quickly to changing market conditions. By leveraging advanced analytics and data-driven insight, Nike can accurately forecast demand, optimize inventory levels, and ensure timely delivery of product to market. This agility has enabled Nike to meet the evolving need of consumers and stay ahead of competitors. In addition to its operational efficiency and ethical practice, Nike supply chain is also characterized by its focus on innovation and collaboration. The company continuously seeks to improve its supply chain processes through technological advancement and strategic partnership. By working closely with suppliers, retailers, and other stakeholders, Nike can identify opportunities for optimization and drive innovation through its supply chain network. In conclusion, the supply chain management strategy that Nike has adopted is integrated with lean principle, agility, global sourcing, sustainability, technology, and risk management. This will enable Nike to manage this factor in order that support growth, consumer demand, and competitive advantage within the global sportswear market.
Hi, Assalamualaikum to Madam and my classmates. Today I'm going to present about Nike's problem in supply chain and also emerging challenges that they face. So Nike's vast global network involves numerous suppliers, manufacturers and logistic providers. This intricate system, while essential for meeting consumer demand, also present significant challenges. So let's start by go through some of the existing challenges Nike face in its supply chain. So one of the most pressing issue is geopolitical risk. Trade wars, political instability, and natural disaster can disrupt production, increase costs, and damage the company's reputation. So, for instance, the recent trade tension between the US and China have led to increased tariff on imported goods, including Nike products. Furthermore, the COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted global supply chains, causing delays in production and transportation. So another significant challenges is ethical sourcing, ensuring that suppliers adhere to ethical standards including environmental sustainability and human rights can be difficult, especially in developing countries. So Nike has faced criticism for allegation of child labor and poor working condition in some of its suppliers' factory. So in recent years, Nike has made effort to improve labor practice in its supply chain, but the challenges remain, particularly in region with weak labor laws and regulation. So other than that, balancing inventory levels to meet demand while minimizing cost is a constant challenge. Excess inventory can tie up capital, while insufficient stock can lead to lost sales and customer dissatisfaction. The COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the importance of effective inventory management, as disruption in supply chain have made it difficult to forecast demand and maintain adequate stock levels. Additionally, the increasing popularity of personalized product has further complicated inventory management, as Nike must maintain a wider range of SKUs to meet individual customer preference. So now let's discuss some emerging challenges that are shaping in Nike's supply chain landscape. So the rise of e-commerce and direct of consumers channels has increased the demand for faster delivery times and more flexible supply chain. So what Nike can do, they must adapt its supply chain to meet this evolving consumer expectation. For example, the growth of online marketplace and subscription services has created new opportunities and challenges for Nike's supply chain. They required to requiring the company to optimize its distribution network and inventory management process. So next is sustainability. Sustainability is another growing concern. Consumers are increasingly demanding sustainable products and practice. So Nike must invest in sustainable materials, reduce its carbon footprint, and ensure that its suppliers adhere to environmental standards. So Nike has set ambitious in sustainability goals, such as they planning to use recycled materials and reducing its carbon emission. However, to achieve these goals requires significant investment and coordination across the entire supply chain. Other than that, automation and robotics are transforming the manufacturing industry. While this technology can improve efficiency and reduce costs, they may also lead to job displacement, and social unrest. Nike must carefully consider the implication of automation on its supply chain and workforce. So the adoption of automation and robotics can also introduce new challenges, such as the need for skilled workers to operate and maintain these technologies. Okay, so to conclude, as we have seen, Nike's supply chain faces a complex set of challenges, both existing and emerging. So to address this issue, Nike must invest in technology, strengthen its relationship with suppliers, prioritize sustainability, and continuously monitor and adapt its supply chain to meet the evolving needs of the market. By doing so, Nike can mitigate risk, improve efficiency, and ensure the long-term sustainability of its business. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Ashraf. So today I will be presenting about recommendation to overcome the identified problems. There are three points that I will presenting, which is geopolitical risk, labor issue, and ethical sourcing. So the first one is geopolitical risk, which is there are 3 points, which is diversification of manufacturing location, strategic partnership, and build inventory buffers. So the first one is Nike is exposed to the following risks related to the geopolitical condition along its supply chain, like trade war, political unrest, and natural disaster. So the problem like this can lower your production and increase operational expense so the company needs to strategically spread its reach of varied manufacturing site. Since he or she move his production line across the state, Nike does not rely on one region. If there were any political instabilities or protests among other factors as environment provide stability and access to existing infrastructure, so that it is not affected due to conflict or instabilities in areas they are setting up facilities. So additionally, like Nike is now able to interact with the third parties impact expert risk on their global operation and deliver product in time despite any other ongoing situation. Another practical approach is that companies should keep stock of inventory edges, especially in major markets, to enable them to absorb transport disruption or port shutdown. Nike has just in time inventory system that enable it is to order shoes and other product only when necessary, but this system is vulnerable during the COVID-19 since it caused a shutdown of factories and delays in shipment, eventually causing a shortage in the supply chain of Nike product. Accumulating inventory stock will improve Nike's readiness in coping with the demand of its consumer, sustaining its place in the market in the event of severe supply chain. Therefore, Nike can only manage geopolitical risk if it grows a wider network of supplier, build strategic partnership and improve inventory control. This measure will assist Nike establish ways how to manage future geopolitical risks and their effect of the firm. Okay, moving on to the next point, which is labor issue. There are 3 points: improve working condition, collaborate with NGOs, and public reporting. So there has been a major concern for labor issues in Nike supply chain across the globe, with concern of low wages, poor working condition and child labor. It has become not only a question of corporate social responsibility, but it has become a crucial to the continued positive perception of a brand. First, Nike must work on its standards of working condition by insisting on the suppliers' compliance with the ILO's labor standard of employment, wages and safety. This can be done by doing surprise visit at regular interval by using third-party assessor to check that factories are operating to the highest standards. Also, the company to work with the stakeholder, including the NGOs like Asia Floor Wage Alliance, to increase the transparency and address the violation. Incorporating of such audits and disclosure of their outcome would add to Nike's effort to portray itself as a corporate entity that is conscious of civilized labor practices. Besides, Nike should consider putting in place organizational procedure which would allow workers harassed to report those in charge without being discriminated against. This way, Nike's approach to the labor problem doesn't only minimize the chances of boycott and legal action against the company, but at the same time establish the company as a socially responsible brand. Hence, working condition can be enhanced to reduce the extent of labor problem in the supply chain. With partnership with NGOs and public reporting can protect Nike's image globally. Okay, last part is ethical sourcing. There are 3 points: enforce supplier standards, second, increase transparency, and the third one is invest in sustainable materials. So Nike's cases of ethical sourcing is another important aspect that need to be addressed. with an aim of improving the resource sustainability as well as protection of human rights in the company's supply chain. There has been concern that the company source their product from geographical areas with rampant deforestation and human rights abuses, including forced labor. To tackle these issues, Nike has responsibility of enhancing the scrutiny of the suppliers conduct with a special emphasis on the environmental and ethical responsibilities. Successful implementation of third-party audits will guarantee that the supplier conform to the international standard and recommend the right areas for change. Nike can also use such audit result to increase transparency in its supply chain, thus satisfying the public and investor. In addition, concrete effort must be made in the application of sustainable material, as Nike must involve its resources that are environmentally disastrous, like palm oil and non-recyclable plastic. By doing so, the company can minimize on the impact it has been deforestation and other related environmental degradation. Nike's attempt to change to be a better supply chain will be creating a positive effect on the environment, and the consumer will also appreciate the materialism produced now that change has been made towards accepting a green planet. In addition, Nike should establish a sustainable relationship with NGOs and environmental organizations to come up with long-term sustainable purchasing channel. So this collaboration can be beneficial to the company by allowing it to be aware of new regulation that are being developed and make sure that its sourcing is effective regarding new development in best practices. For Nike, the ethical sourcing of product is not only an ethical consideration but also a business advantage that will pay in the long run. Thank you. I will pass this presentation to Haris.
Hi, I'm Muhammad Haris and I will continue about the recommendation. So the next one is inventory management. Currently, Nike has implemented the GIT model of keeping inventory. It works for Nike but not always being constructive, as seen as through the COVID-19 pandemic. One of the disadvantages of using GIT approach is that it creates large savings on inventory, since it only orders stocks when necessary. This is the advantages when supply chain networks get interrupted, as it results in stockouts. To overcome these challenges, Nike must always implement better practices of holding inventory, which should use AI and MLs. These tools may help in demand forecasting, where Nike can easily access the needs of the consumers and order the right stocks. Also, Nike should consider efficient ways of operating that promotes flexibility in the manufacturing of shoes and gears while achieving efficiency in the provision of orders. By incorporating AI tools in the supply chain, Nike can be beneficial in enhancing lean manufacturing techniques to reduce on excess inventories in the same way that it can help to reduce stockouts. Moreover, an increase in the visibility of inventories in the global markets will help Nike have real-time control of its product to hasten their response to supply chain mishaps. Centralized database of inventory that is available online for all the suppliers and distributors will help Nike manage all its supply chain around the world. In conclusion, it could be seen that emerging artificial intelligence technologies, lean manufacturing system, and cloud-based infrastructure are all capable of improving Nike's inventory management mechanism to withstand utmost pressure. Okay, so the next one is supply chains complexity. Nike's supply chains management faces another challenge by operating in different regions of the world because this involves managing many other suppliers and intermediaries consequently. The hierarchy means that when problems emerge, the responses are always slow because the root is hard to identify in the numerous layers that are involved. To offset this, Nike needs to improve communication with suppliers and tie performance incentive to quality and ethical performance. A platform that puts together all tiers of Nike supply chains will enhance the coordination, hence enable Nike to handle disruptions well. Furthermore, reducing the degree of integration with suppliers would also be beneficial to Nike to reduce the number of suppliers. It deals with to manage the supply chains and acquire higher quality products. The control of number of suppliers would also allow Nike work more efficiently with the selected few to ensure they have complied with Nike's stringent ethical and quality standards. Last, it is another idea about which Nike could try to learn more. The use of the blockchain to enhance transparency throughout its supply chain. Blockchains will facilitate real-time tracking of materials and products and will aid in the identification of problems as well as compliance to labor and environmental standards. Connecting the dots of the Nike supply chain, the company can find the solution for the problem of its complexity and improve its functionality with the help of technological development. Okay, so the last one is emerging problems. Nike has been identified to be having new and evolving supply chain challenges, which include digital disruption, sustainability, automation and robotics, and increased supply chain visibility. That has shifted consumer expectation due to the emergence of e-commerce, exciting delivery services, and agility in managing inventory. To meet these needs, Nike should embrace technology in the management of the disruption channels and the flow of goods to ensure that the company gets it right. Also, the concern for sustainability in products is exerting another pressure on Nike to decrease its emission of carbon and quality control about the supplier. These consumers' expectations can be easily achieved by Nike through integrating sustainable materials and energy efficient manufacturing process. So technologies such as automation and robotics implement also point out that Nike can enhance on it to reduce on proceeding costs. Adoption of these technologies in manufacturing will enable Nike to expand the operations without compromising on the quality of finished products. Okay, last but not least, due to the increasing awareness of the public on supply chain issues, Nike must disclose more information regarding its suppliers and the methods that it uses in its factories. Blockchain can offer the level of credibility that the customers and shareholders need by letting Nike show how its products and develop from scratch to being ready for sale. Mitigating these emerging issues will make Nike to continue to relevant in the global market made up of several competitors.